Again, a very good day to you, and thank you for joining us on Botswana Connect. Now, our first conversation today is looking at teachers, and Botswana Teaching Professionals Council, or BOTEPCO, will officially launch its fully digital registration and licensing system for teachers on the 21st of October. This marks a major step in modernizing the teaching profession in Botswana. We are joined in studio by BOTEPCO Corporate Affairs Manager, Thebe, to discuss the overview of the new system and also explore how this digital shift will improve efficiency, accountability, and service delivery in the education sector. Maitsudumela, and welcome to BTV News.
Good morning, Kailo, and thank you for having me, and good morning to all the viewers of Botswana Connect.
To start our conversation, I think I want to understand first. I know it's understood, but BOTEPCO and teachers, what's the relationship?
BOTEPCO is a council. It has been established to license and regulate and register the teaching fraternity in Botswana. Okay.
So they went to school, they are qualified.
Yes.
They must register.
Yes.
Why?
Because, let's start here. Without a teacher, all other professions would never exist. Okay. Like teaching is the mother or the genesis of all professions. Now, when you look at all these other professions, be it the doctors, be it the engineers, be it the nurses, banally the professional body, they advocate, regulate. Now, for all these years, the teaching profession did not have that body that advocates for them, regulates them. Hence the establishment of BOTEPCO.
Okay, what exactly is it that we're looking at to end up saying register? Is it because of our ailing education system, or is it because something just went wrong along the way? Because I remember teachers never used to need these things because we knew, teacher, we trust them, we're happy, we can go with them.
I believe because our teachers have been doing absolutely great, hence we are all here. And I believe, like I've already said, all these other professions, banally the bodies they are professionalized, they are regulated, they are advocated. Hence the need to do the same for the mother of all professions, in teaching.
I'm sorry to be asking these questions, I'm just getting a bit of an understanding. BOTEPCO and the unions, unions advocate and so on. BOTEPCO advocates. What exactly is it advocating?
Unions advocate for teachers' welfare.
Okay.
BOTEPCO is here to professionalize and regulate the profession.
Okay. So now let's look at the benefits of registering or licensing. Why would one want to register though? And is it important for someone to register?
It's very important for somebody to register. Like I've already said, registration and licensing with BOTEPCO will offer the teacher that formal recognition, affirming their legitimacy as educators. Okay. That's number one. I believe that one I've already explained. Secondly, the registration is going to enhance career mobility for teachers. BOTEPCO is enhanced career mobility,
okay, all right.
Meaning that our teachers are now going to be able to apply for teaching outside the country, maybe in the region or in the continent, regionally and internationally. Because BOTEPCO is a member of an AFTRA, which is a body regulates the teacher or the councils in Africa.
Okay. Yes. So now, looking at the whole registration thing, what does it require? Because these are teachers, of course, that are qualified and so on. Does it require one to have gone through a certain level of academic achievements for them to qualify to register for BOTEPCO?
Yes, number one, a teacher must have a recognized teaching qualification from an accredited teaching institution. That's step number one. And then number two, but qualifications, they are accredited. Those institutions, they should have qualifications that are accredited by the institutions in Botswana. And for teachers, by they have gotten their qualifications outside Botswana, their qualifications should be accredited by BQA.
Recognized or accredited by BQA?
Accredited and recognized.
Okay. Yes. So now let's look at Botswana has a large number of foreign teachers, right? What's going to happen to them in this instance?
The registration and licensing of teachers is for all teachers in Botswana, being government teachers as well as teachers by the private institutions. So all of them are affected by this, and it's mandatory.
Okay. And then, so being mandatory, for the teachers, right? I have a school and I decide I don't care whether you are with BOTEPCO or not. As long as you're a good teacher, you've got a history, I can go ahead. Is that allowed?
It cannot. It's not allowed. We are also governed by an act. An act the rules and regulations the teaching fraternity has to abide by. There are penalties for those by once this process has started have not abided by the registration process, and these penalties apply to the individual teacher whom will be found teaching without a license and the school that would have employed this teacher.
Okay, so we're going into Botswana where a lot of parents are not interested in schooling their children formally. I think when I look at where I live, a lot of the kids, they are wearing some uniforms of some form of tuition centers and they are going there. Parents have lost faith in the teaching fraternity, maybe. I'm not saying all of them. But we're seeing a mushrooming of tuition centers in every neighborhood in Gaborone. What are we saying about tuition providers now?
This is where BOTEPCO comes in. The teaching and registering process is going to affect each and every person who stands in front of a learner. Okay. Anybody who stands in front of a learner.
Or next to a learner, or sits next to a learner.
Okay. You are supposed to be registered and licensed by BOTEPCO. The licenses are going to be in different categories. Licenses that the teacher aids. We are going to have those for by that are practicing, and those also by maybe they have retired and they will be required to come back into the system and offer some sort of consultancy and so forth. So there are going to be different categories for the registration licenses.
I think my worry is with the tuition centers. They are left out in this whole process because these people are not teaching in front. These people are coming to my house, they're helping my kids, and my kids are writing PSLE and passing either way. What about them? Are we saying now that it will be more lucrative to actually avoid the registration and run a tuition center?
Let me make mention of the fact that we started operations in April 2023. And from that time up until now, we've been doing robust stakeholder engagements. They did engage the tuition centers to sensitize them about this particular process. We have traveled around the country to meet with the tuition centers and sensitize them about this process. And as I have said, anybody who will be in front of a learner, amuruta, kotsana, amututara or anything would be required to be licensed by BOTEPCO.
So we are filtering out those smart kids that decide to take tutoring as a part-time job after finishing their Form 5. And we are saying to them, now you are not relevant, we're going to focus on people who are teacher aides and teachers and so on.
The tuition center, they're supposed to be the teachers, the tutors, let me say, are in tuition centers, are also supposed, they are providing a teaching service to those learners. So they're supposed to be
a remedial service.
Yes, they are.
Okay. All right. So now we look at Botswana as it is. Homeschooling is going to get there. How are we going to regulate that part? Because one could be left out of the system, but they're a very good teacher, they're left out, and I feel I'm homeschooling my children. Am I free to take someone who's not even licensed because they're going to write the exam? Or have you linked these kids now and these teachers to the Botswana Examinations Council?
We are working closely with various stakeholders, including the Botswana Examinations Council. So, as I have already said, everybody who will be providing a teaching service to a learner will have to be registered and licensed by BOTEPCO.
Okay, so this is obviously going to be done online and it's going to be launched very soon. What should a teacher prepare towards the launch of this online system? Or have we got some teachers already registered manually somewhere that are going to transfer to the online system?
No, we have not yet done that. The Botswana Teaching Professionals Council has developed a system that the teachers are going to be able to use to register to get licensed with BOTEPCO from their locality. And this system is housed under the OneGov platform. So they're supposed to create profiles. Upon the commencement of the registration process, they'll be able to access the platform Yarona to register with us. But in terms of preparations, they have to make leading to that. They have to have certified copies of their umang as well as
passports and residence permits. And
yes,
so on,
professional certificates, and then for non-citizens, ba tshwanetse be bana le tsone di passport tsa bone. And then, like I've said earlier, qualification verification from Botswana Qualifications Authority will be applicable to by long gore their qualifications are outside institutions tsa mo Botswana. And then also there is a fee that the teachers are supposed to pay, and it will be made electronically. For citizens, batlebe ba duela only 50 pula per annum, and then non-citizens will be paying 120 pula per annum.
Wait. So a teacher must budget 50 pula every year.
I get these other professions, your accountants, your nurses, your engineers.
Already, those are people, when you talk about an engineer,
more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we are creating a system now where we are taking money from the underpaid already. Teachers are not paid enough. Should they really be paying, especially at the start? Or should you try to lobby them in for free first, cash them into the system first?
I think now you are venturing into conditions of safe selling for the outside mandate.
Yeah, but
let me make mention of the fact that these fees, where BOTEPCO came up with a committee, there were representatives from teacher unions as well as associations who agreed on this fee.
Okay, no, that makes sense. So let's take this registration. It's starting obviously on the 21st of October. It's going to go live. Certain teachers obviously have been teaching in Botswana for many years, qualifications from Zimbabwe, Uganda, and so on. Now they have to go and verify their qualifications in the system. Do we see a potential disruption of service by teachers who now, one, it's not cheap to go into the BQA to verify your qualifications. Secondly, it's the BQA. The pace isn't really a very interesting one, right? What is going to happen to the disruption of learning? Well, we say in this probationary period that you'll give them to make sure that at least by next year or 2 years from now, when they can afford it, they can do it.
I think you have answered my question. They're going to be given a probationary period to get everything in order. And I don't believe this is going to disrupt the education system in any way.
Okay.
Because a lot of planning has gone into this for the past 2 years.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Now, data protection and so on. How safe are we with our system to make sure that this teacher's information is not essentially stolen and sold to other countries?
I believe by it being housed under the OneGov platform, which is a government platform.
Thank you. It's a government platform.
I believe it's safe being housed under the OneGov platform. I have so much confidence in our government platform, OneGov, it has a lot of services.
Okay, so now obviously registering for this, like we said, means there's data and so on being collected. Can BOTEPCO contribute, or this system contribute, to the understanding of how many teachers are unemployed, how many are temporaries, how many actually need employment? Should we say we need statistics?
Yes, I believe in the long run we will be able to give out those statistics, working hand in hand with our line Ministry of Basic Welfare and Child Welfare and Basic Education. Okay. So I believe in the long run, once the process has already started, we'll be able to see and so forth.
Okay. Now, obviously, I'm going to slide back to the private schools a little bit. Private schools seem to be a little bit unregulated, right? Have you sat with them, and do they understand what's going to be happening?
As I've already mentioned, Kaelo, we have done robust stakeholder engagement.
Okay.
And this covered government schools across the country. It covered private schools across the country. It covered tuitions, PTA associations, and so forth. So just as the government institution, they are well aware of this process and what they need to do in order to be registered and licensed.
Okay, and then now obviously taking out of this, in terms of aligning this with this education system, what levels of education are we looking at? Is this only basic education that registration is needed, or are we starting from preschool?
I believe we're starting from preschool, primary, and then junior, secondary, senior secondary schools.
Okay, yes. So now you mentioned something that with this system, Botswana can have an opportunity now to easily go and work outside. Please clarify that a little bit.
The Botswana Teaching Professionals Council, as I've already mentioned, in a lead affiliates with international and regional organizations such as UNAFTRA and IFTRA. So these organizations, they're going to make it very easy for our teachers in Botswana to be accepted into different professions should they want to apply for jobs outside the country where a professional recognition is a requirement.
Okay, now let's go back a little bit to the teachers, obviously, and get them into preparation for this. The system is going live on the 21st of October. Have they been trained on it? Will there be any training to take place, or are they just going to learn as they go?
We have prepared everything to sensitize my teacher on how to use the system. There will be step-by-step guides across our various different platforms. We'll also have a helpline for those by Longore they would want assistance in using the system.
All right. Yes. And then how do they get in touch with BOTEPCO as far as getting more information is concerned?
Through our digital platform. Our handle is Botswana Teaching Professionals Council across all the different digital platforms, or BOTEPCO.
Okay. All right, Messi, thank you very much for your time and best of luck on your new system. I believe that you did mention it on OneGov, so transparency is clear and so on, and it's safe. No one's even going to get sold.
Yes, but also let me make mention of the fact that the official launch is scheduled for Tuesday, the 21st of October, 2025, Royal Area. And it is convened under the theme Professionalization at the Core, Transforming Education for Sustainable Development. And the event will be officiated by our line minister, Honorable Minister of Child Welfare and Basic Education, Honorable Nono Kafela Mokoka, who will also serve as the guest of honor.
All right, thank you very much. And that marks the end of our conversation with Messi Thebe from BOTEPCO. Thank you for watching.
October 2025